guys are here. My name is Sam from Sam's Reading Corner, and we've got a fun sit down kind of video today. I'm Sam, like I said, and we talk about everything between cats and books. I have two cats. One of them is right there. She pops in and out of my videos all the time. You'll see her. Her name is Princess. She's shy, but she loves the attention. But yeah, we have a fun video. We've got a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it. So I hope everyone had a fabulous reading month in September. I am not slumping anymore, but I've been very, very busy in September, and I'm gonna have a really busy October. But we've got a lot of goals. So in today's video, we're talking about October TBR, October book clubs that we're participating in, October readathons and challenges we're participating in. We've got a lot of things. We have one competitive monthly readathon that we're doing, and then we're also doing 2 monthly challenges. But we'll get into those a little bit towards the end of the video. I also kind of want to take this as an October reset. It's the last quarter of the year, so I want to check back in on my yearly goals that I set in January and see how we're doing and what books are left on the list that we have to get to. I have my TBR cart next to me outside of camera view. That has all the books that I want to read this month and what's left on some of the lists. So I think we're going to do the reset first and talk about the 24 books that are still on my 24 in 2024 and my 12 friend recs that I still have to get to. I'm slacking on both those lists. And the 24 and 2024 are all physical books that are on my physical TBR. I need to redo my shelves a little bit. It's very chaotic, and everything on my 12 friend recs is either on my Kindle or I do not own yet or have not acquired yet through my library. So I'll be putting pictures up of all of those. But I think that's all the housekeeping. If I forget anything, editing Sam will maybe pop in for a little bit. We'll see. But for now, let's start with the reset with the 24 books in 2024 that I have left to read on. So if you see me looking down at all, I do have my reading journal that has the 2 lists out. So far I've read, out of the 24 books, I've read 5. That's a failing grade. So we've got a lot of books that we still need to read in the last 3 months of the year. And I don't know if we're going to get to all of them, but let's see what the first one is. The first one is the chunky Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. It's got dragons, and we are named twins, so I have to support her. This is so chunky, but I'm not afraid of it. It's chunky, but I'm not afraid. And then the next one is a classic. I wanted a classic fantasy because I read mostly fantasy romance, and contemporary romances. I'll throw in a couple thrillers, murder mysteries here and there, but my top 3 genres are contemporary romance, romantasy, and regular fantasy. So I wanted to do a classic fantasy with The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I do not know if I'm going to get to this at all this year. I do kind of have loose plans on what I want to do with some of these older fantasy series like Wheel of Time and like this. Once I get my channel going a little bit more, I'll have better plans of that, but I have ideas, so I don't think we're gonna get to this, but who knows. the next one is a very popular one. It is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This is my Fairy Loot edition. Super pretty sprayed edges. I just haven't gone into it. I've been leaning away from YA, but I've heard really good things, and I love like letters. Like that's like one of my favorite tropes. I love letters in fantasy. It is so I don't know. But I am really excited for it at the same time. Last year for 2023, I had Belladonna on my 23 and 2023. This year I have Foxlove by Adeline Grace. I absolutely loved Belladonna when I read it. It was such a fun gothic fantasy romance. I enjoyed Death as a character, so I'm really excited to get to it. And my edition is so pretty. I know the third and final book just came out as well. I haven't picked it up yet, but I will be going on a little birthday book shopping spree because I did get some Barnes & Noble gift cards for my birthday. So be on the lookout for like a birthday book haul type thing coming soon, hopefully, with some really good picks. And I'm really excited because I have a few that I really want to get to, so I'm very excited. And then this next one, which also I don't know if I'm gonna get to because it's another fantasy romance, long fantasy romance series, and I have loose like ideas of what I want to do with my channel when I get it off and running, but it is the first book in the Zodiac Academy series, The Awakening by the Twisted Sisters. I am really excited for this. This has been on my it was on my 2023 list, and it's on this list again. I don't know if I'll put it on a list for 2025. We'll see. It might go on my self-destruct list, just because I've had it on my shelf unread for 2 years. I don't know. We're getting into plans that aren't important right now. I want to try to focus on getting off of this 2024 and 2024 list, but who knows. And then I want to get into my V.E. Schwab era. So I have 2 V.E. Schwabs on this list. One is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is more historical fantasy, I guess. So I don't know if it's up my alley or not, but I want to give it a try. And it's blue. Blue is my favorite color. And it's signed. So that's pretty cool. And the other V.E. Schwab is Darker Shade of Magic for Londons. I love that theory. I love that kind of idea, so I'm really excited. I've heard really good things. I have the whole trilogy on my shelf. I have a couple V.E. Schwabs, and I've never read from her before, so we'll see. No promises though. And then another chunky one, which this one I did like a filter on TikTok, which I will link all my socials, Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, all the things down below if you want to go and follow me there and do all the things and hang out with me more. All the links will be below in the description. But back to this book that we're talking about. I did a filter on TikTok at the beginning of January, which was like, pick my next fantasy romance series to start in 2024, and it was Jade City by Fonda Lee. I did start this a few months ago, but I put it down to read other things. It is kind of chunky, but I've heard amazing things about this series, so I definitely want to get to it, and hopefully we can get to it by the end of the year. And And this next one I actually softy enough in January of this year. It is Guild by Raven Kennedy. There was something about pirate, it was just really weird. Like there was something about pirates, and I didn't particularly like how the women were called in this. And I know it's a King Midas retelling. It just was very off-putting. I softy enough it because I really do want to get to it. I was intrigued, but when the pirates showed up, I just was like, what the hell? Like, this is just too much. And I was like, I didn't put this down or else I'm gonna poorly rate it, but I do want to get back into this. So it is a softy enough for now. And then I've got Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I absolutely loved Legendborn last year. I read it in January of 2023. Absolutely had a fantastic time. I loved the King Arthur retelling. I can't wait to get back into the series. I know book 3 is coming out in 2025, so this is another one that I might put off until next year, until the 3rd book comes out, but we'll see. We'll see. And then next is an Allie Hazelwood, a contemporary romance, Love on the Brain. Allie Hazelwood is one of my favorite contemporary romance authors. I absolutely had the best time with Love Hypothesis, so I am trying to get through Allie Hazelwood's backlist, and I kind of want to do like a tier ranking of all her books when I do finish those, so that would be like a fun little video. I know I saw Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading recently do it. She recently finished all of Allie Hazelwood's book and tier ranked them, and I kind of wanted to do the same thing and see how much of our Allie Hazelwood tastes align. I thought that would be super fun, maybe. So we'll see how that goes. But Love on the Brain is another one. It is actually the second to last contemporary romance that is on this list. I've read a lot of my contemporary romance that were on this list. I've been in a contemporary romance mood this year. So this last one is the last contemporary romance that's on this list, which I don't even think it's contemporary romance, but it's Magnolia Park by Jessa Hastings. I heard this is Gossip Girl, but in England, and I heard it's really toxic. I have the whole series on my shelf so far, so I need to like start it, and just, I need to know the hype. You know what I mean? And then another loved fantasy romance series, From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have this whole series on my shelf. I bought all the books in hardcover because my Barnes & Nobles are not getting the paperbacks anymore, and when Barnes & Noble was doing their hardback sale at the end of December of last year, I picked up the whole series. I was like, if I'm going to get them hardback, I might as well get them on sale. I do have 2 copies of From Blood and Ash. I have a hard copy in this pretty red edition from Target. If you're watching this channel, then obviously you understand the book struggles of having a lot of copies of one edition of a book. So yeah. And then this next one is actually it's an author that I have 2 books on this list. So the first one is Daughter of No World by Carissa Broadbent. I've heard really good things about this one. I heard one's a little bit better than Serpent, but I do also have Serpent and the Wings of Night on this list. It's actually on a certain TBR, which we will talk about in a minute. But I do have both this one and Serpents on this list. I have started Serpents. I have softy enough Serpents. I'm hoping to really love it. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Oh, 2 more contemporary romance. Well, 1 more contemporary romance and then a dark romance. The last contemporary romance is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I read the spin-off series to the series in February, Love Unwritten. I think that's what it's called, or Love Redesign, and I really enjoyed that one. So I know I like Lauren Asher's writing. I just have all her books and I have not picked them all up. But this is like Billionaires with Disneyland, and I'm a Disney adult. I live in Florida. I live 2 hours away from Disney and Universal, so I'm a big Disney adult. So I think I'm really gonna like this one. And then for the dark romance that's on this, and I just need to know the hype, but it is Haunting Adeline by H.G. Carlton. I read Satan's Affair last year, and it is the novella to this duet. And I had a good time with it. I met Sibby and I saw Zayd. So I met Zayd for the first time, but I just really need to know what all the hype is about Zayd. And yeah, I've had this on my shelf for 2 years since I started reading. Or started reading again. So I want to get a lot of these books that when I first started reading again, read off my shelves, because they're just sitting there and I'm not reading them. And then I think I only have 2 left, and the second to last one is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I already told you I started this, got halfway through it, and soft DNF'd it. So I do want to try to finish it. The only thing that was really bothering me was how Araya just kept saying that she was a human in the vampire world and that she could easily be killed. It just felt like she was saying it on every single page, and it was really annoying me at the time. So hopefully I can get past that. We will see. And then I think, pretty sure this is the last one, but it is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I love me some dark academia, secret society. So this would be my first Leigh Bardugo. So it's definitely a priority. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I'm excited to read all of these. I just haven't had time to read them. So I think that is all the books on my 24 books in 2024. Let's get into the 12 book friend recs that I am slacking on. So for my 12 friends 12 book recs, I've read 2 out of 12. I've started one other one. So I do not own any of these, so I will be putting pictures up somewhere. Editing Sam will be putting them up, but I will be mostly looking down at my journal to read all the things. So the first one, which all of these were recommended to me from friends and followers on my book talk, which of course I said will be linked in the description below. So yeah, so the first one is Painted Red by Alina Harper, and it was recommended to me by my good friend Cody over on Book Talk. I think this is a dark romance. I really don't know anything about these or heard of any of these, so I really liked that I've never heard of them and I've never have read a lot of the authors, so I thought that was really fun, because that's what I was looking for within this challenge, was to read books I haven't heard of and from authors I haven't read from before. So I was really happy that I got a lot of books like that. The second one is Threaded by J. Rose. I think this is a fantasy romance. Don't quote me. I'll put pictures. And this was recommended to me by Halsey. Again, everyone was on my booktube. And then this next one is Too Safe by Abby Millsap, and this was recommended to me by actually this person recommended me 2 books. So Life High Inspired. I don't remember her name, but yeah, she also recommended me All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir. That is the only author that I knew of or that was super popular, and I actually got into Sabaa Tahir's Ember and Ashes series earlier this year, and I really enjoyed that, and I really want to finish that series. I only have the third and fourth book left to read, so yeah. The next one is Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson, and I actually put this on my September TBR but did not get around to it. I think it's a horror YA horror retelling of Carrie. Don't quote me, but it sounds really freaking good, and I've heard amazing things about this, and we're in spooky season right now, so this is probably a really good book for me to put on my TBR and get to. The next one I have not read is A Kingdom of Frost and Malice by Ashley McLeod. Fantasy romance, probably on KU. A lot of these are on KU, or I can easily get them from my library. That's why I have not bought any of them unless I really enjoyed them. But yeah, the next one is Ashes to Ashes by Tammy Hoke. I think I said her name wrong, but I'll put a picture, of course, of the cover. And then the next one is Starbringer by Tracy Wolff and Nina Croft. This is the only sci-fi that's on here. I do want to read more sci-fi, so this is perfect. I don't know if we'll get to it, but we will see. And then the last two actually are recommended from one of my really good friends. I met her on BookTube, but we talk every single day outside of BookTube, and I really have grown to love her and cherish her friendship. And actually, I was going through a really hard time back in like the beginning of the year, and she was just, I love her. She's amazing. It is Amber. I love her. She doesn't have a BookTube, but I know she'll be watching this, so I just want to say that I love her. Love her so much. Anyways, the last two books that she recommended me are The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I've heard really good things about this. This is one of her favorite books, so I'm really excited to get to this. And this last one, I did start back in February. I did put it down. I wasn't in the mood for it, but it is The Once and Future Witches by Alexi Harrow. Again, now it's spooky season. That's a witchy book. It is a chunkier book, so we'll see. Maybe we'll put it on this October TBR. Who knows? But that is the last books that are still on these lists. I know I haven't been doing too good with them. I know I have a lot of books to read in the last 3 months of the year to try to finish these lists out. So we will do a reset kind of check-in at the beginning of November when we do November TBR to see where I'm at with these. I don't see myself finishing these lists, but I do want to try to tackle and get as many read. So we will see. Actually, if you want to help me get some priorities, some of these books that are still on these lists, please let me know in the comments out of both the 24 and 2024 books and the 12 friend recs, which ones you think I should prioritize first in October, and which ones you've read that you've really liked, and all the things. Let me know down in the comments so I can put them on a priority list and get them read and not off my shelves, but get them read and sitting on my shelves, read and not unread. So let's talk about all the book challenges and readathons that I'm doing this month. The one competitive month-long readathon I am doing is called Fabelin. It's hosted by Margaret over in the Book Nerd. I will tag her announcement video below, but it's kind of like D&D style. You make your own character, and we don't know any of the prompts until they are dropped. And actually, as I'm filming this on September 30th, our first prompt was dropped, but I'm not going to talk about it here. I'm doing weekly vlogs throughout the whole month to vlog my experience through all 3 readathons that I'm doing. So be on the lookout for my weekly vlogs talking about all the prompts and all the things that I'm reading for all the things that I'm doing in October. So there's that. So we don't know any of the prompts going in. It's chaotic, it's amazing, and I'm really, really excited. I am on Team Shadow something. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm super excited. So be on the lookout for the first weekly vlog next week. So I have my little dinosaur creature. Let's do our first roll. We got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A paranormal read. Okay, let's see what I have. So we rolled a 4 and landed on paranormal read, and we also passed a cat prompt, which was to read a book with mostly black in it. So we are doing One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, mostly black, and it's witchy. It's a Romeo and Juliet witchy retelling, two mafia families. I will read the tagline and the synopsis now. So the tagline says, in modern day Manhattan, where we lay our scene, 2 rival witch families fight to maintain control of the respective criminal empires. On one side of the conflict are the Antonova sisters, each one beautiful, cunning, and ruthless, and their mother, the elusive supplier of premium intoxicants known only as Baba Yaga. On the other side, the influential Fedorov brothers serve their father, the crime boss known as Krashi's the Deathless, whose community extortion ventures dominate the shadows of magical Manhattan. After 12 years of tenuous coexistence, a change in one family's interests causes a rift in the existing stalemate. When bad blood brings both families to the precipice of disaster, fate intervenes with a chance encounter. And in the aftershocks of a resurrecting conflict, everyone must choose a side. As each of the siblings struggle to stake their claim, frying loyalties threaten to rot each side from the inside out. If that is, the enmity between empires doesn't destroy them first. Guys, look at these end pages. So pretty. And this would be my first Olivia Blake. And these are the brothers of the other family. I'm super excited. I think this is gonna be super fun and get me in the mood for spooky season, and I'm really, really excited. The other challenge I'm doing Becca's Spookopoly, which this is based off of her old TBR game Spookopoly, but she's made a spooky edition. I will tag her announcement video below, but I am also, just like I'm doing with Leandra's, I am rolling as I go. So let's cut to the footage of my first roll to see what we're reading for the first. So we've got the board. Let's do our first roll. We will be rolling as we go. We got a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We landed on pumpkin carving. Let's go see what that prompt is and what book it is. What book we're gonna pick. So we rolled a 5 and landed on pumpkin carving, which is to read a book with a face on the cover. The only caveat, it has to be a human face. So I do have a couple picks that I do want to get your opinion on down in the comments, see which one I should read. So let's see what the picks are. The first one is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lonnie Taylor. I've never read this. This is Zoran's October Fancy and Friends pick. So I've never read this, but I've heard really good things. So this is option number 1. Option number 2 is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. There's his face. It's good enough for me. So this is option 2. Option 3 is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Emes. As you can see, there's lots of faces on there. This also could work for another prompt, so we'll see. It is on the chunkier side though, so we will see. So this is option 3, and then option 4 is A Tempest of Tea by Hafez Fazul. This is on the shorter side, so it might be a quicker read. But yeah, this also can work for another prompt, but you won't know about that prompt until my first weekly vlog. So yeah, this is the fourth and final option. So let me know in the comments for a face on the cover which book I should read. If I should read A Tempest of Tea, Kings of the Wild, Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, or Daughter of Smoke and Bone. So let me know in the comments which one you guys think I should read. I am all 4 on the TBR, but I don't know which one I'm reading. And the only other kind of book things that I'm doing for October is the last book club, which is the B&K book club, which is hosted by Brittany Loves Reading and Kelsey. All the information will be linked below, but we are reading What Have You Done by Sherry Lapina. This is, again, on the shorter side. It is my first read by this author, so yeah, I'm really excited to discuss this. I've heard some really good things. I think this is a newer release, but I've heard really good things, and I cannot wait to discuss it with everyone. And then also I am doing A Year in Eldia, which is part of the Magical Readathon that is hosted by G over in the Book Roast. And my prompt for October is to read a book that a house is either the main setting or a character. And since I have not finished this book in September, it will go towards that. It is The September House by Carissa Orlando. It's a haunted house story, and the house is a character, literally a character. So I'm having a great time with this. Hopefully I finish this as soon as possible and get it off the shelves and back to the library, because this is a library book and I've had it out for like over a month now and I have not read it. So yeah, but I think that's everything. I think I covered everything. I will, let you know if I didn't cover everything. But if you had a fun time and enjoyed this, give me a like and a thumbs up, and maybe a subscribe to see all the things we're gonna get up to in October with all the vlogs and all the things that I want to do on this channel. I have some ideas. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I keep saying every single time that I make my TBRs for the month, I keep saying this is gonna be the month that I get back on the YouTube train, and it never happens. I always record my TBRs, I don't get them edited, and then I don't post them. October's the month. We're gonna do it. So I will see you in the comments for the votes on my book with a face in it, and let me know what you're looking forward to reading this month, and also let me know if you're partaking in any of the readathons that I'm doing. I'd love to know. And if you're doing Fabelin, let me know what team you're on. But you should totally be on the Shadows team. I'm just saying, we're the cool team, and we're gonna win. So I think that's everything. Give this a like and a comment, and maybe subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.